Looking for a spooktacular epic Halloween celebrations? You got to hit your way to be haunted at the front yard of Kevin Egan with his creative Halloween decorations. It was great interacting with Kevin and to understand his passion and the efforts put by him to come up with this awesome Halloween display. As Kevin narrates his story so far, which I have covered in the later part of this video, and his vision for the coming years, I'm sure this setup will go places in the years ahead, and I wish Kevin and his wife the very best. You guys are awesome.
My goodness, this is amazing.
Wow.
Clap your hands and enjoy your day.
Yeah. You take care, Kevin. Nice seeing you, Dave. You take care of yourself. You too.
Do I need to come
Thank
back
you.
Christmas and wear Christmas eyes the whole day? So,
Yeah, no, I can't do it. But Joe come down from the
And did you notice inside this skull how the fire flares? Oh, look at that. Look at it. Yes. Can I have the crystal ball? Can I? What happens if I touch the crystal ball? Please reply. Reply. Reply.
I welcome you here.
Thank you.
pull my modules out and stick lights in there.
Amazing.
Put blinking Christmas tree lights on the inside, you know.
Look at that. Be careful. See inside the pocket. There is casket. There's a casket. There's a casket. Oh yeah. It glows. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, it's just talking. You know.
Fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood. Then the charm is firm
Oh
and
my God. Awesome.
You know what I want? And soon my everything.
Wow, see, look at this. Do you also talk? Yes. Hello, do you also talk? Hello.
His sensor is right right here.
Ah.
Come on, wake up.
But I had a good time.
This is my first year. We started with one, which was the big guy. My wife wanted him. And then we went out. You know, I just Next year, I'm already planning next year. It's going to be bigger. I got 3 witches coming by the end of the week. I got a ghost coming at the end of the week. I'm thinking we're going to be doing 3 sections. I'm hoping to have a lighted tunnel. I'm thinking a lighted tunnel.
For the amount of work you have done, this definitely needs to have entrance tickets.
The greatest part is meeting people like you.
Yeah.
It's like, because we're in people. We don't come out. We go to work and come home. Coming up, stopping in the middle of the street, we go out, we talk to them, and had a family, mother and her son out there yesterday, an adult son, and talking to them, and he's offering to come over and help next year and everything else. It's really cool. Yeah, so I'm having a great time with it.
It takes a lot of effort, and it's beyond my words of appreciation. How to appreciate you guys for putting so much effort.
That's where it started, because then it's like, well, we can get Inferno. And then we found the other 2, and then I heard him say, we walked into Bridgewater Home Depot, and I heard him say, "She loves me not. I love you, you're gonna rot." I was like, oh, I love him, he's awesome. And I had to the next day I had to go back and pick him up and brought him back. And we got the skulls from Lowe's.
Yeah.
Well, this one here we found
Yeah.
over on Winthrop. He was sitting on the curb. They were gonna get rid of him. And we grabbed him. And, he does work. They're all quiet tonight. I don't understand why, because everybody's got new batteries. Then we made all the legs over there, brought them over and hooked the legs up. And kept blowing away. He fell over, well, they say she. We call Phantom the she. And she fell over the other day. She fell over Monday and landed. Oh, see my little wolves. My little wolves didn't light their eyes tonight.
Yeah, these ones. Jumping spider.
Pugs. And the one pug that we had was a fawn pug, and she couldn't use her back end for about 3, 4, 5 years. And she passed away in April. And then our black pug passed in July. But I picked, my wife picked this one up. It was the end. There's only one there. She picked it up. We bought it. Didn't think about it. But the leg's broken. And I turned around. I walked in. I said, "Look, it's Lola. She can't use her leg." And I put her like this, like Lola would sit with the leg out. I'm gonna change your batteries. All the animals represent something we have. So like, we had the 3 dogs over there. The one in the middle is my wife's dog Shadow that we had many, many years ago. And the other 2 would be Lola and Baggy, which we lost.
Oh, look at this. It's a... This also. It has started. They're amazing.
Yeah, that's what she fell in love with. And then, they did the same thing with his eyes.
Yes, I was
and then
watching.
his eyes.
Yeah,
and then his eyes.
and
Even
the
that one,
flame,
yeah.
the flares inside.
If I had known, I would have gotten more of that little
Yeah.
creeper.
Yeah.
I would have gotten a couple more of him.
Amazing.
I tell a story. I had how I got this skeleton here,
Okay.
the one with the lighted eyes.
Yeah.
What happened was I had a skeleton that I bought 2 years ago, and I bought it didn't have lighted eyes.
Okay.
And I had bought these ping pong balls that had like eyes on them, and I had one orange and one green.
Wow.
And I put them so they look goofy, and I put him on my motorcycle.
Okay.
And I had him strapped to the motorcycle, so I could go out and have him on the motorcycle with me, you know. And I had a do-rag on his head, and he had gloves on, fingerless, leather gloves on his hands, and he went places with me. And I never named him, but he was my buddy, you know. At the end of the year, we would fold him up and put him in a construction black garbage bag, and he would go up into the attic to be stored for the year, and then come down the following year. Well, this year we can't find him. We've been all through that attic a dozen times, cannot find him. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he got thrown out because he might have went in the bag and maybe sat for a day or so and didn't get. Maybe my son picked him up, threw him in the garden, not knowing or whatever what was in the bag. So I can't find him, and I'm very hurt. So what I did was, I played it out on Facebook. I'm like, he's missing. If anybody sees him, let me know. I'm very upset that he's missing, that type of deal, like a lost dog thing.
Right.
And then I went and I bought her.
Oh.
And she was just like this one, except for she's got darker bones.
Yeah.
She's got darker browner bones.
Yeah.
And so I said she's got a tan. And I bought the purple, the colored wig.
Yeah.
And her eyes are actually rubber bouncing balls. I had to cut them in half, and I had to trim them.
Yeah.
And I glued them in place, hoping that when the lights came on, they would. And they actually do. They light up pretty good.
They do. Yeah.
And she actually kind of looked like him, except for she had the darker burns, the darker bones. And I said, I'm gonna put her out and hope that he would come back. And I put her out by the motorcycle for a couple of days, and then eventually I got the coffin. I put her in the coffin, and I bought the roses, the black dark roses for her. She's got flowers. And,
that is coffin. I was telling him, look at the casket, and she's looking at him. It looks awesome. It's amazing.
I said next year, told my wife, I said, more skeletons next year. I said, we're going to have more skeletons, big, medium, There's an 8-footer that I got my eye on. It's got the same style eyes. It's 8 foot tall, which would be perfect side by side with him.
Okay.
And it does more motion, side to side motion, and it talks. It tells you a story. And I'm like, she would be cool, because I'll put a wig on her or something. I'll put her side by side with him, and then get the smaller ones, which can be children, Yeah. A whole skeletal family, So I'll have a lot of witches next year. I got 3 witches coming next week. So her and the other 3 witches, I may do something with them on that side. I want to get a cauldron, and have them mix in the cauldron. There's a way of taking. They take spray foam on cardboard, and they spray foam the cardboard, and then they take orange lights and they set the orange Christmas lights in them, and then they spray foam over that, and then they take bones. You get the package of loose bones, and they put that in it, and then they, put the head in it so it all sticks, and then they spray it black. And then when it lights up, it looks like it's on fire. And I saw one that was just doing that. And then what they did for the cauldron was they put that underneath. They put the rocks around it. They put the cauldron over it. So that looks like the fire underneath with these bones. And that was really cool, And then I saw another guy. He did multiples, and they fit together and almost looked like a river of lava with the bones in it. And I'm like, that's cool. I can do that. That's easy to do. And it's not real expensive to do. So these are things that I bought some of the stuff to do this year, and I just never got to it. Ran out of time. And you know what? She's happy.
Yeah.
And for me, that's all it takes. When I'm walking through the store and I'm buying something for her or something she's gonna like, and I imagine that she's gonna be happy, then I get a smile.
Oh, sweet.
And she's always telling me, why don't you ever smile? Why don't you ever smile? Because you're not with me when I'm smiling.
No doubt.
She's inside and I'm out here, and I'm having a great time.